Great. So I'm Rebecca Foster with Efficiency Vermont.
And I'm Krista Carlson with Green Mountain Power.
We are very excited to be here to talk about shifting the energy paradigm. And we're going to start with 2 looks back and then with 1 proposal for moving us forward.
So let's talk about the first paradigm shift.
Back in 2000, many of you were involved in this move. Efficiency Vermont was created. This was the first in the nation statewide energy efficiency utility. We've worked since then to reduce customers' energy costs, to put downward pressure on electric rates. Over time, we added in thermal and process fuels. And all that's added up to $2.4 billion worth of cost savings for Vermont customers, as well as almost 12 million metric tons of greenhouse gas reductions. And every year, we're working with 100,000 residential customers across the state and about 15,000 business customers. So this work is continuing and providing benefits today and into the future. But after 15 years of Efficiency Vermont's work, Vermont decided it needed to do more.
So about 15 years after this groundbreaking work happened that led to dramatic improvements for our customers and for Vermonters, there was a renewable energy standard that was passed by the legislature, and this was a dramatic energy shift that enabled utilities to work directly with customers to cut their carbon and their costs. It is an incredible tool that I'm pleased to say that all utilities are using. To talk about some of the successes of the program, all utilities now offer rebates for electric vehicles. All utilities offer rebates for heat pumps. And just to talk about Green Mountain Power, just this year alone, we're going to reduce 33,000 metric tons of carbon pollution. And when the team tells me that, I say, I don't know what that means. But for example, they tell me that means about taking 7,000 cars off the road this year alone and 75,000 barrels of oil not being burned. So this law, groundbreaking, helping Vermonters cut their carbon and costs, and also helping the environment, because as everyone in this room knows, we are facing a climate crisis, and the status quo of what we have been doing is no longer enough. And that is why it is so important that these 2 important changes have paved the way for what we're calling for today, which is the third paradigm shift.
Tier 3 really taught us to work together. There were initial challenges figuring out how a statewide energy efficiency utility would work with all the distribution utilities. How do we align our services? How do we figure out how to bring the right messages to customers and how to deliver more together than we could individually? We've done that work. We've done that hard work together, and today we're ready to do more. We'd like to propose shifting Efficiency Vermont's work to focus on greenhouse gas reduction as opposed to megawatt hour reduction. It just doesn't make sense to have the distribution utilities looking to increase electric use through electrification and having Efficiency Vermont still focused on decreasing it through efficiency. We could do much more to focus on our greenhouse gas challenges if we were aligned together and we brought the best of the supply side work, the Tier 3 work, the decades of efficiency work together in one cohesive package for customers.
And we're one example of a partnership that's working, but I know other utilities are also working very closely with Efficiency Vermont. And EVT is a statewide resource, so they can bring to bear a lot of their resources. And again, all of our North Star is how do we get things done faster? Everyone in this room gets it. But for those of us who have children, for those of us who are concerned about the environment, we have to speed up, we have to accelerate. And we have already found that by working together, we're able to speed things up and accomplish much more.
I get questions, what would this look like for customers? What would it look like in terms of Efficiency Vermont's portfolio? How would that change? Going forward with the greenhouse gas metric, we would still do work in electric efficiency. We would focus that work on the times when the electric grid is dirtiest. So we would focus more on working with utilities to flatten and reduce peaks, to shift loads to times when renewable energy is most available. We would continue our work in the thermal sector, promoting cold climate heat pumps, heat pump water heaters, other advanced wood heating technologies, really trying to reduce greenhouse gases there. And we would be able to work together in the transportation sector, where Efficiency Vermont could come in and work statewide with the supply chain, doing dealer training, salesperson incentives, and really lay the groundwork for super effective and successful utility Tier 3 incentives with customers.
And we know now, and it's already been talked about, that the top 2 sources of pollution that is hitting our Vermont economy and our Vermont families is not the electricity sector. It is transportation and heating. So we need a dramatic shift in the paradigm to address those 2 things. We've already started. We're already working together. and we're already seeing a lot of progress for the Vermonters and the customers we serve, but we're here today together because we need your help. This is going to require legislative change, and this is going to require regulatory change. And most importantly, it's going to require you to open your hearts and minds to changing this paradigm of one thing that you've known and that you have known is working, but how do we accelerate it and shift it moving forward so that it's more successful for the folks we all want to help.
Fantastic. We did some modeling showing just what a hypothetical portfolio that Efficiency Vermont could offer, what that would look like in terms of greenhouse gas reduction. So with a portfolio of heat pumps and advanced wood heating and some transportation support, more weatherization, more refrigerant management, we could deliver 3 times more greenhouse gas reduction than we do with our current portfolio. You know, given the stakes that we're all facing, we think now is the time to make that shift. And really want to echo Tom Nauer's point earlier and ask all of you to participate in the Act 62 process and talk to the legislators in the room about how we could reorient our work so that we're all focused on the same goal and working more effectively together.
And again, we have 11.2 years left. You saw the kids protesting. We want your help. We think it's time for a paradigm shift. Thank you.
Thanks.